Hey there, good morning. So it's actually almost 6:10, but I was busy doing other stuff. Um, as everybody starts coming on, make sure that you say hi, that you let me know that you're there and everything. Feel free to ask questions throughout or share commentary as to some of the things that you do based on the topic that I have going today. So yesterday I was, out taking a walk and if I remember right, someone had asked, what do you do if if you have the yeah buts? Um, and so what happens when the yeah but comes up? What happens when you have the what if come up? And anybody who's watching this know that there's actually going to be an article posted on my website at www.kendal.com talking about the yeah buts and the what ifs later today. So make sure to check that out. I found my newsletter list. You got it yesterday already because newsletter gets everything early. But when we have a yeah but moment, yeah, I really would like to have that happen, but I don't know if it's possible. Really truly worth it. I don't know if I really believe that it can happen. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the belief. And anytime you're having a yeah, but or a what if, it shows that your belief is really, really low in actually achieving the thing that you're saying that you want. So realize that it is a belief issue, and it is a belief issue about typically your worthiness of actually having it, or you have to realize that we have habitual programs built into our head. So we have over the course of time basically created these highways in our brain, and the neural pathways is what they are. Neural pathways, and they're like highways, and we naturally fall back to them because it's comfortable, because it's what we know, because it's what we've always done. So, if we grew up in a household where there was a lot of negative thinking and that certain statements were always being said, and then, we heard those statements on TV, and we heard those statements at church, and we heard those statements at school, and all these different things. We start saying these things in our heads without even realizing that we're saying them. So we are unconscious to the thought processes that are going through. And the first step to getting out of the what ifs and the yeah buts is becoming consciously aware of the statements that are being said, that we're feeling, that we are thinking before we even realize that we're thinking them. Now, granted, you're not going to know that you're thinking them before you think them, but you can start to go, why am I scowling? What our faces tell us a lot. If you're walking around and you say, oh yeah, I'm happy, but your face is not happy, you're like, like that, then chances are you're thinking the wrong thoughts. You are actually having these neural pathways. The habit of the pathway of the past is running your life versus what you think, what you actually want your neural pathways to be doing. So you've got to rebuild the neural pathways, okay? And the way you can really do that, and I'm not going to take up a massive amount of time going through everything or the reasons behind everything, that's for sure. But what you can do to help establish positive neural pathways and start building a positive habit so that you can create that fuck yes life. Because without the positive neural pathways, you're not going to create the fuck yes life. Okay, you're going to keep getting exactly what Einstein calls, this is what insanity is, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, which is insanity. But that's the way we live our lives, and we've never really focused in on the things that can change our life. So, things that you can do. One of the biggest things that you can do is, get up in the morning and exercise. Exercise is something that will definitely, and it does not necessarily mean that you have to spend money on going to the gym. It doesn't mean that you have to spend the time on going to the gym. You can walk outside. You can do, stretching on your living room floor. If you have some sort of, exercise equipment at home, make a quick commitment to yourself to go ahead and start that practice again. There, YouTube has so many different things. We live in a world where we can have basically an exercise program in the living room without it being a big deal. So if you just dedicate and commit just 10 to 15 minutes a day to doing something physically active first thing in the morning, then your body is going to start feeling better. And as you start feeling better, it's going to help you change your thoughts. And you're going to start to become more conscious of the thoughts that you're thinking because your body is moving. But if you're sitting around and you're being stagnant and you're just sitting at your desk, or you find yourself really sitting a lot, realize that through the course of time, mankind was built to walk. We were built to move. And when we do not consistently stay in motion for the majority of the day, everything kind of gets stuck in our physical bodies. So this is about moving it through the body, okay? So that is why exercise is really important. All successful people, no matter, and I'm not just talking about financial success here, I'm talking about success, successful relationships, financially successful, positive, motivational people, everybody out there who is doing something, who is moving forward on purpose, has some sort of physical activity routine, and they do that because it keeps the body moving, it stimulates, it gets oxygen into the blood cells, it helps you cleanse, it helps you think better, that you gain clarity. And throughout the course of time, you will find that all the greats in the world typically did walking, but it's our bodies really are built for walking. I suggest walking over everything else, but let's just say it's very, very good for you. The next thing that I would suggest, and you've heard me talk about this on numerous conscious mornings and even in my videos that I put out on YouTube and stuff, and that is start a gratitude practice. It is something that I have done for years and years, and gratitude is so important because we live in a world where everything's focused on the negative. When you turn on the TV, it's, the news comes on and it's negative. It's about deaths and it's about war and it's about, government drama and it's about us losing this and losing that and this horrible thing and that horrible thing. And then we typically watch movies, and one of the movies, they're action and they're blow up. And granted, I love a good blow up and I love a good action movie and I love a good drama movie, but you've got to start focusing on the gratitude. So make sure that first thing in the morning before your feet hit the ground, that I call it saying a little prayer. And, and it doesn't have to take very long. It's quite literally 30 seconds of your time. But in the morning, our brain, and the reason why I'm doing conscious coffee at 6 a.m. is because our brains are so much more open in the morning. We have ability to access things at early hours at just waking time than what we do later on the day when we've basically been bombarded with a whole bunch of crap. Okay? It's getting in there fresh, it's getting that motivation, it's getting the gratitude, the appreciation, the love started first thing in the morning, because every single emotion carries a frequency, carries a vibration, okay? And focusing back on being an energy-based, increase your vibration if you want to draw to you, attract to you, magnetize to you the things that you want. And focusing in on gratitude and love for the first, 30 seconds to a minute of your day, and just really feeling in your heart how grateful you are for starting the day, how grateful you are for having the opportunities that are coming your way, how grateful you are for the incredible day that you had before, how grateful you are for, for your family's well-being, your health, having a job, having a roof over your head, whatever it is that you can do to find some sort of gratitude, focusing on that within the first minute of your day. Start that practice. End your day with it as well. Don't let yourself fall asleep without a minute of gratitude practice. Okay? And really let yourself get in there and, and just have that there. So the next thing outside of doing gratitude practice, first thing in the morning and the last thing in your day, starting some sort of exercise program so that, quite literally, we're talking 10-15 minutes, right? We're just charging up the body. That's it. If you want to do more, awesome. But trying to keep the practice as simple as possible. Is that you need to start reading or listening to audiobooks that are pumped up, motivational, positive, kind of these mind-blowing opening books. And I've been trying to, through the course of some of these videos, I've shared some books. I've shared like Course in Miracles. I shared Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav. I believe I spoke of Gabby Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back. That if you're more on a Christian line, it's called Desire. Oh, it's in my backpack because I was referencing it for somebody just yesterday. It's called Desire, and it's by John Eldridge. So this book is the book that I would suggest for today. And it's a Christian-based book, but I can tell you that it's all on desire, and it is all on increasing your desire and how God wants you to desire things, okay? That God wants us to have desires. Desires are placed there because what we desire desires us as well. And that is not necessarily saying that, my cup of coffee is sitting here and going, ooh, Kendal, will you please? What it is saying that God, if we look at it from a biblical perspective, God has our blessings sitting there. And God wants to bless us with these. He wants to give them to us. He desires, God desires, universe desires, creator desires, the divine desires. I don't care what word you use there. I use God because it's just general and basic, and the majority of people get what I'm talking about. So God desires to give you your blessings, and He desires it just as strong as you desire your blessing. So get your desire level up and know that you're worthy. And those are the kind of books that you want to be reading or listening to on audiobook. You want to really focus in on those. You have to be constantly retraining those pathways in the head to positive thinking, positive feeling, okay? You have to do that. We live in a society where we do not read, and readers are successful. Readers are the people who can change easily. Readers are the ones who can go in and do transformation. Now, I was just telling a client of mine yesterday, telling him about, I was explaining all the stuff that I've been doing, how motivated I am, and that over the last 90 days, I've really been boom, 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 just really putting a lot more effort and focus in on different things. And he said, why are you doing that? You have this life and you have that, and why are you doing this? And I said, because I'm in the middle of transformation, and I see what I want, and I know what I want. I can feel it, I can taste it, I emotionalize it. And I went through this phase of like not feeling worthy of my desire, not knowing, wanting to control it by trying to give it a timeline, by trying to restrict it in different ways and shut it down and letting fear control me. And then I reached this point where I just let go, and I started to see the beauty of everything. And I started to look for the signs. But that would only happen, my letting go only happened because even in the midst of my doubt, even in the midst of my fear, which is what doubt is, it's fear-based, not love-based, I kept doing the practices that I knew would push me through. I knew would support my desires in the long run. I knew that I was being human in my doubting, and that I was scared of actually receiving what I want. Because of worthiness, because of, all this different stuff. I mean, I'm human too. And I have all this stuff that comes up, this shit that comes up. And I was going through my shit. But in the midst of going through my shit, I was consistently, just as I still am, focus on certain practices to help me move through it quicker, to help me process through it quicker, to help me experience love quicker, joy quicker, happiness quicker. And that is keeping my mind center, my mind center and my heart center focused and as in alignment as I possibly could to my desire, to the thing that I wanted. And one of the things that I definitely do consistently is the appreciation, the exercise, keeping positive, focused reading. I'm not an audiobook person. I actually have to have a tangible book in front of me and read it. But, you know, it is so important. You are going to find these steps with everybody who is successful out there. These are the things. So, you know, the question here, and I'm probably going to ask this towards the end as well, is if success really is doing a few things and knowing what those steps are, then why would you resist doing the success steps that have been proven through the course of all time that they actually work? And if you just take the last 150 years, and you look at the great leaders and visionaries, game changers of the last 150 years, and you look at what they did and what they do today, the people that are making changes, the people that are transforming, the people that are out there and know what they're doing to really draw in success, abundance, have this fabulous life. They have these practices in place. So if you really want what you say you want, then why not have the steps to doing it and actually just do it? Because you know there's no reason not to have the belief around it because it's been proven again and again and again and again. It has been proven. So there should be, I mean, yes, doubt is going to kick in because doubt is based on the ego. Doubt is fear-based, and our media and government society it really supports doubt and fear, and it keeps us small. To realize that any time we have those doubt things and the thoughts and feelings that lead to doubt-based actions is because we're being kept small. We're being kept small so that we don't dream too big, so that we don't have too many great things happen, because it is believed that there's only so much room for success. But, you know, a lot of people don't believe that, and you don't have to believe that because you're made up just like I'm made up. The same cells, the same energy, the same everything. We come from the same source. And just like anybody who's successful, anybody who's, you know, really out there and doing it in whatever area, we're all made out of the same material. And we're all deserving. Okay, we're all God's children. Reading positive, upbeat books that is going to support us to create these, you know, positive, supportive highways in our minds so that we stop thinking the doubt and we start thinking the belief. Okay. And then the next thing that you have to really get in is diet, you know, and diet is really, really important, and you have to get your body into more of an alkaline state. Food is vibrational, and if you're changing your vibration, if you're trying to draw to something that is high frequency, then you need to be high frequency. How are you going to be high frequency if you're eating, you know, just a bunch of heavy, low energy foods, pre-dead foods? And I'm not going to go on a rampage here of trying to get everybody to be vegetarians or eat a massive amount of vegetables or something. But I will tell you that fresh fruits and vegetables are high frequency. And the more you eat of those, the better. Where when you have things loaded in processed sugars and starches and salts and, you know, heavy meats and everything, and watch out. If you want to eat meat, great. Make it organic though. Because, you know, I was listening in, and I've heard this before because I have a nutritional background, and I used to write on this all the time and coach on this all the time. But our food is, when we are non-organic in our food and take something like we've heard about mad cow disease and we've heard about, this, all this different stuff. Did you know that cows are herbivores, right? So they're herbivores, yet traditional cattle out there that are non-organic, all this kind of stuff that we're eating have actually been fed ground up pigs, chickens, fish, other cattle. They're being fed meat, and it's meat that is already filled with, like these diseased animals, and they grind them up and they put a whole bunch of grain in with it, and then they feed that to the cow. And because the cow is naturally created to be an herbivore, and now we're feeding it, carnivore-based food, meat-based food, it is messing with the system. And that's where a lot of disease in the cattle is coming from. And guess what? Then we consume it. And what's that doing to our body as well? It's doing a whole bunch of stuff to our body there. So it really is about, focusing in on those, the lighter energy foods and the, oh, bye, honey. The kids are leaving. It really is about focusing in on the lighter based foods and consuming them consistently as well. We should not be starving ourselves. We should not really be, a lot of people go the day and then you don't eat until you really, really hungry. And then you run through the drive-through of a fast food restaurant. Fast food is low vibrational food, okay? It's really, really low. It's going to block you up in multiple ways. But energetically is what I'm going to speak of right here. It's really not good for you, physically speaking, but energetically speaking, it's really not good either because it decreases your vibration. So focus in on high vibrational foods. Fast food's not a high vibrational food. Soda, a lot of alcohol, a lot of white flours, heavy starches, negative fats. You want positive fats, you want coconut oil, olive oil, real butter without a bunch of salt added. Those are positive, high energy based foods as far as the fats go. But focus in on fruits, vegetables, lots of fresh fruits, canned fruits, good, but you really want fresh. Fresh is always best. And then do a cleanse. And cleansing can be, I'm pretty consistent on cleansing. Like right now, I'm really focused on transformation. So I have been cleansing for the last 2 weeks consistently, where I'm drinking an easy, probably 50 ounces of cold pressed juice a day. And granted, I have a benefit because I have a cold pressed juice company. So I have that benefit. But what you can do is you can go and you can buy online, and then you can go and you can get different cleanses, and they're really supportive. What you're going to do is you look at like a gallbladder cleanse, look at a liver detox, look at a kidney detox, look at those kinds of things, because those organs in your body really need to be cleansed out to keep you at a high vibrational level. So if you've never done a cleanse before, I suggest that you do it. You've probably got a lot of built up things in your intestines and in your internal organs. The other thing to look at that we don't think about, that the majority of people do have, is parasites in the intestines. And you do not have to travel to a foreign country and drink the water there to get a parasite in your intestines. We have them right here in the United States. And it is a lot because of the food choices that we make, like the cows that I was talking about. Okay, so that will put parasites into our intestines. So we need to also check out a parasite cleanse. So hitting the new year, doing cleanses and really focusing on that. Prior to that, it started on really focusing on bundling up lots of fresh produce and lighter meats, and just make that if you can't afford to do organic across the board, then focus in on making sure that your dairy, your meat, any berries and bananas, and really, if you do have any starch-based foods, so like bread or cereal, make sure that those things are organic. And then for the fruits and vegetables, buy local instead of just going to Walmart. Stay the fuck out of Walmart. Those foods are there, have all been tainted with chemicals, okay? they get injected with different stuff in other countries, shipped here, and so that they hold and they don't ripen until they actually hit the store, and once they hit a certain temperature and everything. So they are really, really not good. They've been processed bad, and just go to a better quality, a more a grade A or B store, not a grade C store like Walmart or like Sam's Club or oh gosh, I know Winco is now really popular around the Texas area, and I know in California they are too. It's a C grade store. It's a bunch of shit in there. There's just stay out of those places and buy local produce instead of organic produce if you can't afford the organic. Okay, go local, but make sure that your meat and your dairy and your grain are organic, because those things carry the highest concentration levels of chemicals that are really going to mess up your frequency. Okay. The next thing is get hydrated. Hydration, 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 hydration. And you really want to pump up your water intake here. And the basic, and you know, we are 70 to 80% water anyway. And what you want to do, for what most nutritionists say out there, and that I subscribe to myself, is that half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you're looking at 100 ounces of water. And again, tap water, no. Bottled water, not really. It's an okay backup. And I have bottled water at my office. I keep bottled water out in my garage. But bottled water has sucked it. And the plastic, the bottles, no matter how great the plastic is, it's going to reach out into the water. That plastic is going into your cells. It's not good. So get some sort of water purification system to buy, that will deliver something there, and try to use either stainless steel or glass containers to carry your water in. Okay, and that's going to help. But you need, no matter what, if you can't do that on the front side, that would focus in on the ounces. Okay, and the ounces of water is half your body weight in ounces for maintenance. Now, if you drink a cup of coffee, some coffee is 10 ounces, 10, 12 ounces. So it's going to take me 20, 24 ounces to offset my cup of coffee, okay? Just to bring hydration back into the body. And then again, it gets your body processing and it increases your frequency level, okay? And then the other thing that I'm going to really suggest that you focus in on is positive, upbeat music. If you are listening to heavy metal, that blah, 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 blah music, and you might go, I really like that. There have been scientific studies done on music and the effects that music has on the cellular structure of water, okay? And different music has a different effect on the cellular structure of water. And I would suggest Googling this, because it is phenomenal. Get on YouTube and look at some of the videos from the different places that have done these studies, and realize then, much like I just said, we are 70 to 80% water. So that means that we are made up of water. Water carries frequency. You change the molecular structure of the cells in the water. We drink the water. We are the water by noises, by thoughts, by actions, by feelings, okay? And if that water being in our body is now absorbing a negative charged music, guess what happens to our frequency? The frequency goes down, it plummets, it crashes. So pumped up music. I am going to make it a little preacher about classical music. If you can get like some Beethoven, Mozart, Vivaldi in for 10 minutes a day, first thing in the morning, okay? So like while you're showering, while you're bathing, while you're getting ready, if you can just take that time and listen to, let's say Beethoven in this one, and listen to Beethoven during just that time frame, you will start to notice that there is a change in your system. Then focus on the rest of the day on pumped up music that you want to sing along to, that is pumped up, that has positive messages, that just has that little pep in it, okay? because this is all about getting that pep in and it being real. Remember, we cannot fake out the universe. The universe knows what we're doing at a cellular level. So there's no faking it till we make it with the universe, okay? And that is what we're dealing with here is universe communication. So pumped up music is definitely something that you want to look at. And then the next biggest thing, and I'm going to end on this one. Well, actually, no, I got two more things. So I go, no, I heard something go off in my head saying, no, don't forget it. All right, so then the next biggest thing is association. Okay, association is really important. If you are associating with Debbie Downer people who are focused on drama and trauma and negative, and they're just like that, remember that anytime two people come together, it is a meeting of the minds, and that we create one mind. Okay. And there is great power in the one mind. Now, the universe doesn't care if that great power is what we perceive to be positive or negative. It is an increased charge. So if you have doubt inside of you, or at all, and then you're around somebody who's just this really negative Nancy person over here, right? Then you come in and this person starts talking to you, and you start shrinking yourself. And then you all of a sudden find yourself, talking about this negative thing and that negative thing. And then your body starts to get into restriction mode, and you start to feel fatigue, and you start to feel, it's not so great. Maybe you start to just feel tired, or who knows, your mood switches. Notice how your mood switches around different people. If your mood is not, if you're not charged up and excited to see somebody, there's a reason for it, okay? If you get around somebody and all of a sudden that person, you find, hey, goodbye, honey. Are you leaving? Okay. Hold on, I'll take this phone. I'm still on. Sorry. Morning coffee with children around. So if you are around really negative people, or you get in, you find yourself just wondering, like, I just walked into a room and you get down in mood, well then there's a reason for that. There's more negative charge coming at you than positive charge coming at you. So you need to, this is, and I'll use my children for an example. Association, we always tell kids, association is everything. Why? Because we know if they're hanging out with the wrong crowd, that they're going to get into trouble, that they are going to be led astray, right? Well, what makes us any better than our kids? The same thing is true for us adults. Association is really important. If you want to have the successes in life that you want to have, get around the people that are already having those successes. Get around the people that are not focused in on their trauma, on the negativity. Get around people who are positive focused, okay? And if you have to change your group of friends, and I can tell you what, if you're getting the desires, your group of friends is going to change naturally. But sometimes you might want to do that a little prematurely even, because you want to catapult yourself, okay? And association is absolutely everything here. So get yourself into environments with people that are positive. And yes, sometimes that means that our family is going to be the biggest Debbie Downer. And I know that a lot of people, myself included, has family out there that's really, really negative. And it's like, limit your exposure. Limit your exposure. Do not go and hang out all freaking day with that negative person, those negative family members. Limit it to 30 minutes or an hour tops, maybe once a week, because realize that is really going to pull you down, drag you down, and that's not what you need. You're doing all this work and you really want your desires. You have to ask yourself, do I want that more than I want the comfort of having what I've always had, which is not making me happy? If you are not happy, there's a reason for it. If you want to create your happiness, then you need to actually start associating with people that understand how to create happiness and are leading lives that are success-based, that are happiness-based, that are creative-based, okay? And typically our families have not been taught to do this because we are victims, born of victims, and they don't They don't understand the importance of the different principles that I'm sharing here, and that the incredible teachers, coaches of all time have shared again and again and again. And when you start following, you're going to meet resistance from your circle of people that you are already in connection with, because if they're not doing it with you, then guess what? They're not going to understand. So look at who you associate with and start to really pay attention to how those people make you feel. Okay? How do they make you feel? And then the last thing that I'm going to end on here, because I got to take my daughter out and it's really, really dark outside. I don't want her walking out there in that kind of dark, is that I want laughter. Laughter is the key focus here. You want to do things that make you laugh, that bring you joy, that make you extremely happy. You know, play with your pets, get around people that are funny. Watch comedy hours. Watch anything that really makes you laugh and enjoy life a lot. Okay. I cannot stress that laughter will actually, I've heard stories about people curing cancer with laughter alone. So go and research that statement right there, okay? And with that, I am going to end because it is going on 7 o'clock. How did I do that? I'm a little over a half an hour today. And I will be back here tomorrow at around 6 a.m. for another little discussion on how we can really supercharge our December and have that Buckiest 2018. You can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com. Please share this video if you got anything out of it on your wall as well. And I hope to see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Have a